You're live, it says. Good morning. Or in the place where it's good afternoon. Hold that thought. Because if not to pause a thing. There we go. Can everybody hear and see me okay? Okay. I've been reading from this book that I'm just loving called Sober on a Drunk Planet. I intend to read for about 5 minutes, and if anybody has anything they would like to share via a meeting, I'm here for it. All right. After there's a better way, it says, as you'll already know, this book is about giving up alcohol. However, it's important that we define what giving up means in that context. Giving up is a mode of language. It suggests we have to do without something desirable and that it's a loss. Well, here's the good news. It's not like that at all. Do tell. If you're spending just a day or two a week hungover, you're giving up 50 to 100 days of your life every year. And that doesn't account for time spent thinking about alcohol, planning occasions around it, and dealing with the chaos it can cause, depending on how far down the rabbit hole you are. It could be consuming half of every year or more. That is a massive loss. Similarly, you probably gave up many things Similarly, you probably gave up many things as you reached adulthood, dreams, interests, and hobbies. If you followed the same trajectory as most people in the modern world, you probably swapped them for going out. And for many people, going out means drinking. I'm not for a moment saying that getting out there, partying, and becoming an adult isn't a rite of passage and an awful lot of fun, but it is part of the conditioning that makes alcohol such a crucial part of many people's lives. It's also where, for many, the bad habits begin to build. Here's the fascinating part. That's much discussed. Oh, sorry, you guys. Here's the fascinating part that's much discussed in sobriety communities. It's not about what you give up, it's about what you get back. On the lifeboat, somebody said something, you're giving up one thing so that you can have everything. And that was profound. Whereas being in the life is you give up everything for that one thing. Now, where was I? One of the most used sayings within sober communities is that sobriety delivers everything alcohol promised. You hear that one a lot because it's true. The one thing that surprised me the most was how quickly sobriety delivers. How nice for you. Wasn't that way for me, but good on you. When you start to see how drastically different life is without alcohol, you begin to understand how much it impacted everything: health, relationships, finances, career, and the spiritual side of life. Think back to childhood and how into things you used to get before your time was taken up with the pressures of adulthood. Maybe it was sport, music, gaming, or one of 1,000 other things. That joy of being at play is still available to adults, but many swap it for the empty and expensive pleasure of heading to the bar for happy hour instead. The irony of happy hour is that, yes, you might be happy for the hour or the evening, but if you're anything like I used to be, there's nothing at all happy about the next days. The reality is that you do gain much more than you lose when you quit alcohol. And we'll stop there. All righty. Well, I this afternoon I have asked Sarah to join me on a live. I am still working with StreamYard to get the kinks straightened out, whatever they may be, because I don't know what they are. Um, I have been approved by YouTube to for StreamYard to access my YouTube channel, but I can't seem to get back into StreamYard to bring other people in. So I just figured that we would just do a I'd just do a speakerphone call with her, or maybe a picture call. Can you tell I'm old? Picture call. So, is there anything that you would like to discuss? The idea of this meeting also is just anything and everything that you would like to discuss is up for discussion here. Since I'm just starting out and haven't experienced what may result, there's really not going to be a whole lot that's going to be off limits. I may just try to steer things back. If things go too far off the rails, I may try to steer them back into why we're here, which is to get sober, to get clean. But I never wanted to do this by myself ever. I don't want to just be here being a talking head. I want to pull as many people in as possible. I'd love to have a bunch of little squares there, just with all these wonderful faces. And also, this is not like AA in that you have to be sober to be showing up for a meeting. It's just not. Not everybody is in a place where they have made that decision. You know, you don't have to be clean to be here. I talk about being sober from alcohol because that's my drug of choice. When others begin to join us, there will be more of the other aspect of things. I will have 30 years clean and sober this coming February, and you better believe I'll be celebrating that one because I almost didn't make it this year. I just wasn't convinced that I was truly an alcoholic, and started going to the lifeboat because I'm a major growing up in Scientology addict, SPTV addict, to be truthful. And I started journaling and I kind of figured out where that was coming from, but I was willing to risk it. I was willing to test it, to go out and get a bottle of wine, or I didn't plan on doing anything heavy, just to see if it stirred up those cravings. And I called some people in the lifeboat, and they talked me down from the ledge. And not long after that, I figured out, oh yeah, I am an alcoholic, just from writing in my journal. And so that's the whole thing. This is not something we can do by ourselves. I mean, you can, but it sucks. I've spent a lot of these 30 years white knuckling it. A lot. you know, a lot. And I don't recommend it at all. I know that some people are not big fans of silence, but I thought about this morning maybe just having there's a thing that we do in AA meetings. Um, let's have a moment of silence for the person that's out there still suffering. I'm not necessarily ending the meeting, but I just did want to do that and remember some of the people that I've loved and lost as well. If you'll do that with me. And that's another thing too is I don't like how that they don't like that awkward pause of silence, and they tend to go back into the prayer pretty quickly. And I'm like, this moment of silence is good. Can we just let it linger a little bit? So, yeah. Anybody interested in the chat and letting me know what's happening? Oh, hello. No, I'm not leaving the site. I guess I better not try that. I'm glad to see you here. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it so much. It ain't fun being in front of this camera, just talking to a camera. I'll get used to that though, because that's essentially how I'm having to kind of do a little bit of it. So I may as well, get comfortable with that. Anything anybody would like to like for me to talk about before we close? All righty. I couldn't remember the serenity prayer the other day, and Sarah, bless her heart, she put it up on the text on a text for me, but I didn't see it in time for the broadcast. So I am going to close out with, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference. Hope y'all have a good day. I'll see you back here at 4:40, and I may have someone with me. Thanks so much. Peace.